EAC Generals. Our three officials today. This is Ronaldo Yante, Delmar Alaman, and Dennis Escaros. Number 26, Referee Yante is our crew chief today. The Generals and the Knights battling on a Sunday. Here in the NCAA competition, ball is up and the game is underway. Thank you so much for watching NCAA on GTV and on Heart of Asia. Martin Javier, Renzo Navarro taking care of the broadcast and first crack at the basket for Letran. It's a nice pass for Titing Manalili, although Gamad was there in possession. Di nga lang niya nasa loob.
Hindi lang talaga pumasok yung pasa na yun, but that was a great look by Titing Manalili. And if you're the 2-guard, 3-guard nakakampi nito ni Titing Manalili, kailangan ready ka lagi sa mga biglaang pasa niya.
Renzo, parehong team natin galing sa pagkakatalo dito sa competition. The expectation is that may konting gigil sila coming in.
Well, of course, especially na papunta na tayo sa next round natin, sa playoffs. Talagang yung gigil, nandiyan na yan eh. Yung sense of urgency, makikita na natin sa mga players natin.
Okay, now, let's turn it over courtside for the first time in the game. And let's hear the report from Miss Chantal Laude. Chantal?
Magandang hapon, Martin and Enzo. It was a calm and confident Letran night that I witnessed prior to this game. In the words of head coach Alan Ricardo, expect a bounce-back win from them for today. Inapos nga raw ang kapanan sa huli nilang laban against the Benil Blazers, lalo na raw sa shooting. The team was there defensively, pero they also had multiple stops at nasusunod naman ang game plan niya. But humorously, he mentioned na may mga araw lang daw talaga. Kaya when I asked him about the scoreless Deo Cuajao from that last game, alam daw niya na babawi today si Deo. I also got the chance to talk to Deo and he wants to use this experience as an inspiration to be better dahil ayaw raw niya sayangin ang tiwala at playing time na ibinibigay sa kanya ng Letran. Yan muna, balik sa inyo.
Thanks, Chantal. That's one of the leaders of the Letran Knights, Deo Cuajao. Again, a scoreless affair against the Benil Blazers. 0 out of 5 from the field. And napansin din natin yung dry spell ng Letran dun sa fourth quarter na yon. Dun sa laban against Benil, they only scored 8 points in that quarter. So expect the bounce back here from the White Shirts.
But the positive thing there is they only lost to a great team by 6 points. Tapos yung isa sa mga scorer mo in Deo Cuajao, scoreless nung game na yon. So imagine kung nakuha pa ni Cuajao yung usual numbers niya nun, I'm sure iba yung magiging resulta.
Meantime, Lex Gazingan, former Letran squire, now flexing his wares here in the collegiate rank, scores the basket. That's the first 2 points for the Knights. Scoring has been slow so far. Eto, off the inbound, opted to take the shot and it went in.
Very confident shot for Gazingan, and I'm sure itong si Coach Allen is also trying other players out na rin eh, para pagdating ng playoffs, kailangan mo talaga yan, yung mga guys na hindi masyadong naglalaro pero magsi-step up for them in the playoffs.
Precisely. Para naman sa EAC, if they want to get to the next level, they have to unlock etong ang true potential ni EJ Castillo.
Oh, and I think kailangan talagang kailangan din ni Castillo na ma-realize na kung gaano kalaki yung role niya dito for EAC eh. Kasi rookie pa lang din naman talaga to si Castillo, pero yun yan, kailangan na talaga siya ng EAC Generals.
And it's taking him a while, naturally, to adjust to the competition, maybe the players, kasi iba na yung players dito sa college kumpara mo sa juniors, although maybe sa speed, syempre mabilis din naman sa juniors division. So siya kasi more on ISO and hindi pa within the system yung mga tirang nakukuha niya. But once he figures things out, EAC is gonna be dangerous.
And yun nga, katulad nung sabi mo kanina na sanay talaga siya na ISO na one-on-one. Pero pagdating mo kasi ng college, lalo sa team nila ngayon, EAC, maraming veterans, maraming capable scorers na kailangan talaga niyang gumawa ng paraan para mag-fit in.
Okay, so bola ng EAC Generals, 2 apiece. In the first minute and a half of this game, Kylo Chavo paced DAC last time around with 19 markers against JRU. And in the first frame alone, Ochavo had 7 points. Oftana to the cutting Shanoda, who missed the layup. Manalili is on the move. Titing to the corner. Gamad left it short. And it goes back to the red shirts.
So that was a great pass again by Titing Manalili on the corner. Hindi nga lang pumasok yung 3 points. But that's what you love about Titing Manalili. He's really gonna look for his teammates. Talagang i-involve niya lahat ng players.
Although he just had 5 assists against Benilde as Ochavo misfires. Si Manalili kasi, alam niya kung kailan siya papasa at kukunin yung mga tira niya. In this first quarter, he's been in passive mode. Gamad misses again. Here comes Ochavo. Ochavo feeding Castillo for the easy J.
And I think yun na yung pinaka-open na jumper na makukuha nito ni EJ Castillo in this afternoon.
First 2 points for EJ Castillo, who hasn't had the ideal first year with EAC. Of course, highly touted recruit from their juniors program as Buensalida commits the offensive foul.
Well, hindi rin kasi talaga ganun kadali mag-adjust sa college level. As we see that jumper by Castillo, and yan talaga yung mga tira niya nung juniors pa lang siya. And I'm sure magagawa niya ng paraan yan na kung paano niya pa rin makuha yung same looks, same touches dito sa college.
Ito, second shot too strong for EJ. And he still has 4 more years, Renzo, to figure things out.
Oh, malaki lang talaga yung expectations natin sa kanya. Kaya sinasabi natin to. Pero yun nga, 4 years pa siya. Matagal-tagal pa yung oras niya dito. Marami pa siyang papahirapan. Malaki pa yung pwede niyang i-improve sa game niya.
That's right. 4-2 in favor of EAC. Luis Tapeño. They go to Kazingan again. 5 to shoot. Manalili needs to take top of the key 3. No. Rebound ending up with EAC. Ito na. Si Kyle Ochavo. Ochavo to Castillo. EJ gets to his spot. Dalawa yung kumagat. Extra pass. Shanoda scores.
And that's something na talaga ma-appreciate mo naman kay EJ Castillo. No? Alam natin, nag-a-adjust pa siya. Naka-shoot siya kanina ng mid-range jumper, pero that time hindi niya pinilit. He went for that fake, nakakuha siya ng dalawang defender, tapos nag-extra pa siya kay Shanoda.
That was inflow for EJ. Letran susubukan bumawi. Tapeño on the post-up, fading away. Difficult shot taken by Tapeño. Ochavo ahead to Bagay, who had to track it down, and he puts it up and in. EAC with the burst to start the game. It's an early lead for the Generals. Forward pass, good court awareness by Ochavo, because Bagay was leaving out and he got the bucket over his defender. First time out of the game. We're back to the coverage. Jimboy Estrada, Titing Manalili, two players who led the way against the Benilde Blazers. Kahit medyo nahirapan sila, Renzo, they were able to find ways to get their numbers.
And this is a game na si Titing Manalili really looked for his scoring 16 points, only 5 assists, 5 steals. And ito naman si Jimboy Estrada, 14.6 rebounds and 8 assists. That's a great game for those two guys, pero it wasn't enough to secure the win against CSB.
Two elite scorers and elite playmakers on the side of Letran. Meantime, there's a foul here. Ochavo. That's a tall order to guard Jonathan Manalili. EAC off to a fantastic start. Slight push by Titing. Erases Ochavo from the picture.
You're right, no? Ito si Titing Manalili is a tough coffee. Itong si Titing Manalili already has 2 turnovers. Pero ayun nga, kailangan ng palitan si Ochavo. Lucero coming in.
Kausap kanina pa yan ni Renzo. Aldeo Lucero just checked in the game. Oh, it's another turnover for Letran.
And that's the third of Titing Manalili. So yung coverage nitong EAC against him, napakaganda.
8-2 start. And again, EAC locking down defensively.
Oh, I think they really focused on Titing Manalili kasi lahat ng ginagawa ng Letran dumadaan dito kay Titing.
Mukhang matinding film session yung naganap para tignan yung tendencies ni Jonathan Manalili. And it's showing so far. Let's see if Manalili can overcome this. Oh, and this time, it's another offensive foul on Buensalida.
So a lot of turnovers for Letran. Talagang even yung pagkuha nila ng posisyon, a little too aggressive.
Ito, Buensalida jostling for position with Shanoda. And Shanoda got the better of him in that sequence.
Oh, nauna kasi sa posisyon, he's fronting. Si Shanoda kasi nagpo-front. Tapos, it was a great job selling that call. As we see that jumper by Jude Bagay na very consistent din for EAC. Talagang siya yung pupuntahan ng EAC kapag wala nang makuha sa sets. Poposte lang si Bagay one-on-one, nakakakuha sila ng puntos.
Jude Bagay was struggling in the first 3 quarters against JRU. Only came alive in the 4th. He scored 9 points in that quarter. So, another.
That's 6
turnover,
turnovers
yeah.
for Letran already. Kevin Santos had a shot. That was a good look for him, pero I think nakita niya si Omega dun sa ilalim na open. But Omega wasn't even looking.
Yeah. Castillo from mid-range, it's good. Second basket for EJ. And he's off to a great start.
And those are the shots na magiging available talaga for EJ Castillo. Yung mga off-a-pass, off-executions. Kaya yun yung kailangan niyang ensayuhin.
12-2 lead for EAC. Gamad gets free for the layup.
And that's a great read by Gamad. Merong elevator screen dun sa may left wing. And I'm sure alam ng EAC yun. And anticipate nila kaya may wide open lane si Gamad.
Oftana could not make it. Pero ang ganda naman ng touch pass ng Lucero. Papunta kay Jude Bagay sa ilalim.
Doon mo rin makikita na veterano na itong si Lucero. Pwedeng-pwede niya kunin yung rebound pero alam na rin niya na open na si Bagay sa ilalim.
On the other side, Kevin Santos just took care of business. Too tall, too long for Letran's 3rd basket. They're down here in the first by 8. Welcome back to the coverage. Kyle Ochavo, he went to work against JRU on both ends. Look at the pressure he put on Jake Garupil in that play. Nailed 4 3-pointers on his way to a season-high 19 points against the Heavy Bombers.
And that's a great game for Kyle Ochavo with 19 points, 4 out of 7 in the 3-point area, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals in just 24 minutes of action. And that's just a great game for him. Talagang ang specialty kasi ni Kyle Ochavo talaga is yung pressure niya on defense. Pero pag nadagdagan niya pa ng offense na katulad doon, I think sobrang laking weapon yan for EAC.
And we know he's very much capable of getting his points Okay din na scorer itong si Kyle. 14-6. Letran already in the penalty. So, this is like a quicksand situation for Letran. They're turning the ball over and they're fouling a lot on the other side.
You're right. They already have 6 turnovers and 5 fouls. So this is not the start na gusto ng Letran, especially papunta na nga tayo sa playoffs eh. Kailangan na-fine-tune na yung mga laro nila, yung mga lineups nila, kung paano nila i-handle yung kalaban nila. And this is not a great start for them.
And EAC is taking full advantage. Jacob Shanoda knocking down the free throw to make it a 9-point lead for the Generals. Manalili scans the floor. He searches. He'll take it himself. Gamad for 3. Hits back iron. Bagsak si Omega sa ilalim. And ball stays with Letran. There's a foul on EAC's side.
And again, I think that was a broken play again for Letran. After Manalili got the ball, he was expecting a ball screen pero walang dumating. And I think nagkakaroon din sila ng confusion offensively yung Letran early in the first quarter. Hindi talaga nila nararun yung mga gustong i-run ni Coach Allen.
Nakita mo yun sa mukha ni Manalili, ano? Na-expect niya yung ball screen, hindi dumating. Sabi niya parang, nasa na? Walang nag-rotate. Jimboy steps back for a jumper. In and out. Loristo, who just checked in, collects his first rebound. Here is Aldeo Lucero. Lucero. He has Omega on him. Here's the mismatch here. Balik sa labas. Lucero has the speed advantage, and he used that on his way to the cup.
Deo Lucero recognizing na si Omega, yung bantay niya, kaya alam niya mas mabilis siya. Kayang-kaya niyang kunin ng one-on-one kaya hiningi niya ulit kay Bagay yung bola.
Nawarningan si Lucero on a flop in that sequence. It's Kevin Santos against Bagay. Face up Jay. Omega offensive board. No basket, but there's a whistle first. See Lucero contesting the warning. As we see this play, he was the one who broke down the defense of Omega.
That was a quick move. Yun talaga yung yung kailangan mo lang gawin eh. Isang float lang, pagka-cross, wala na agad yung defender. That's how quick Deo Lucero is.
Deo Guajao is in the game for the first time. Manalili forcing his way in, and he gets the continuation.
And that's a strong move for Titing Manalili. During the start of the game, he was looking for his teammates, pero nakita niya rin na hindi makashoot yung mga teammates niya. That's why he went for that basket himself.
And he likes those matchups. Yung pag natatapat sa kanya, yung mas maliliit na gwardiya. Because, you know, he's 6'1", and that's a tall guard here in the NCAA, especially at the point spot. So pag tinatapatan siya ng mga mas maliliit na gwardiya, trip niyang postehan, ano?
Napakalaking weapon for Letran, no? Sobrang daming options and sobrang daming pwedeng puntahan kapag si Titing Manalili nasa loob for Letran.
8-17 lead. Lucero. They flip it out to Omanda. Loristo tapping it outside. And EAC with a recycled 14. That is down to 10. Oh, Lucero going straight to the cup.
Deo Lucero loves to reject the ball screen. Almost every time talagang i-reject niya yan. Kaya as you see that layup, that answer by Jonathan Manalili. So yung matchup nito ni Lucero and Manalili, talagang yun yung nangyayari ngayon.
And Manalili working both ends. This time he gets the offensive foul on Loristo. Dito nakawala si Aldeo Lucero, blowing by Manalili. But Manalili, pinawian itong si Lucero sa kabila.
Napakagandang mindset for Titing Manalili. he really takes pride on his defense. Kaya pag nakuhaan mo siya sa depensa, babawiin niya yan agad sa opensa.
Nat Montesilio is in the ball game. Did much of his playmaking, of course, in season 100 as Estrada almost makes the difficult shot. Ito na si Brian Angeles. Nakakapasok lang rin. Dribbles that one off his foot. 35 seconds left. Ito po sa ating opening frame. Angeles. Commits the turnover. So Montesilio. Omega now has the basketball. Jimboy. Didiscarte. Estrada. Montesilio. Topside three. Off to the right. Two players battling for position. And they're both down on the floor. Loristo, Omega. And the personal will be picked up by Jello Loristo.
It has been really physical down low. Parang every possession, merong bumabagsak dun sa shaded area.
And I think that's the game plan of EAC's front court. Kasi ang tatangkad at saka ito si Omega as a wide body. So there's a clear advantage in the front court for Letran. So for you to neutralize that, kailangan mo silang physikalin sa ilalim.
Actually, itong EAC maganda yung coverage nila sa big guys ng Letran so far. Hindi makakuha ng malinis na post-up yung mga big man nila.
And MDO gets his point from the free throw line. So 11-19 is the tally. EJ Castillo re-enters the game for the final possession for the Generals. Lucero handles. Binigay kay EJ. Take over time here for Castillo. 2 to shoot. Fading away. Castillo, no. And that's it for the first quarter. Scoring has been a little bit slow in the first frame. 8-point advantage for EAC, 19-11. We'll be back for the rest of the first half after this break. Magcom representative of EAC, Dr. Lorenzo, is watching here alongside his son and enjoying NCAA weekend here inside Philoil. Kahapon din, nandito sila. Nanonood. Second quarter begins. Good to have you with us, Martin Javier, Renzo Navarro, taking you through this game between EAC and Letran. And not the ideal start if you are the Generals. Of course, you want to compound on this lead and you want to take advantage of this situation against one of the strongest teams in your group.
And again, I think itong Letran is trying out new things for them. Kaya medyo nagsistruggle talaga sila nung start ng game.
11-19 is how we will begin the second frame. Deo Cuajao drains the triple.
Deo Cuajao is such a legit scorer, and I'm sure yung struggle niya last game hindi pwedeng masundan ng isa pang struggle eh. Babawi at babawi si Cuajao.
5 quick point for Letran. Jimboy Estrada running the break. So just like that, in a snap, the lead is down to 3. Deo Quajao, of course, was the top scorer of Letran in their first encounter with the Generals in MOA Arena. He scored 23 points. So this is the game where he can actually bounce back. Perfect scenario for him as we go back to our courtside reporter, Chantal Laude. Chantal, go ahead.
Martin, speaking of bounce back, EAC Generals is also looking to bounce back into this game. Isa nga lang raw ang gustong ipaalala ni head coach Jerson Cabiltes sa EAC Generals, and that is today's game is a must-win. Isa raw sa iniiwasan nila ay ang maging last seed because that will force them into play-ins. Having a good start into this matchup, the Generals seems like they responded effectively with the reminders of Coach Jerson to play a tougher game because they know that Letran has good scorers. Kailangan din daw nila bumawi with the rebounds because ito raw ang ikinatalo nila sa huli nilang laro against the GRU Heavy Bombers. So far, it's a good run for the Generals pero mahaba pang oras. Let's see if they can remain consistent. Martin and Enzo?
Maraming salamat, Chantal. I like the last word of that report, especially for Chantal Laude, or from Chantal Laude as Angeles drains the triple. Consistency. Yun ang kailangan dito ng EAC Generals. You know, you get to a fast start, but you expect Letran to get their groove eventually.
Well, of course, alam naman natin kung anong kayang gawin itong Letran. Yung expectations natin sa kanila, yung players na meron sila, see that jumper by Estrada. Alam mo na babalik at babalik sila kahit pa gaano kalaki yung ilamang mo sa kanila. So you have to be consistent and you have to maintain your game.
At eto na, ang Letran Knights cutting the lead down to 2. What a surge by Letran. Starting off the second frame on a 9-3 run. For EAC, again, as Chantal said and Coach Jerson said, they should treat this as a must-win situation because they can still crash the party in Group B. Kinal. Nico Kinal. Floater from the baseline is good.
And that's a great read by Nico Kinal. Alam niyang merong nakaabang na shot blocker sa ilalim eh. Kaya open na yung floater na yun na yung kinuha niyang tira.
That's one way to extinguish the fire for EAC. Jimboy, 10 on the 24. Santos from the right elbow. Nothing there. Ito na, si Ochavo. Angeles na libre. Santos secures the rebound. Back the other way we go. At Montecillo getting extended minutes here for Letran. Quajao puts it on the floor. Step back 3. Hirap na tira mula kay Quajao, but there's a foul inside. Two players getting tangled up, and this is going to be against Omandak. This is a big 3 from Brian Angeles to put them in the scoring column here in the second frame. Pero si Jimboy Estrada, unti-unti na nakukuha yung rhythm niya.
What a crafty finish for Jimboy Estrada. That fake and yung step through. Talagang scorer itong si Estrada. Alam niya kung ano yung gagawin. Yung mga butas kaya niyang hanapin sa depensa.
Ito ulit siya against Angeles. Step back 3, his own version. No, EAC has the numbers, although that bounce pass was a little too strong for Kinal.
Well, I thought Brian Angeles was wide open on the left side of the floor, but itong si Ochavo opted to pass it to Kinal on the right side na medyo mahirap yung angle eh.
24-20. MDO off the spin. Nice move by Mark Denver Omega. And Letran has obtained momentum dito sa ating second quarter. They're just down by 2. Balik sa ating laban. Father Vic Calvo Jr. OP. Of course, the Mancom representative of Colegio de San Juan de Letran. Watching intently in our VIP area in Phil Loyal. This is a good post move coming from Mark Denver Omega. And we haven't seen this consistently from MDO. Kasi may mga laro na ang ganda. Ang ganda ng tinatakbo niya. Pero mas marami yung napupunta agad siya sa foul trouble.
Well, I think itong Letran could always go to Mark Omega, especially sa laban na to. Kasi I don't think there's anyone in the EAC lineup that could cover him one-on-one. Especially on the post when he gets that deep. Automatic na kay Omega.
Wilmar Oftana, nagpakawala. Not gonna work. Letran has the numbers. Well, not anymore. So Jimboy will wait. Montecillo sets the table. Nat continues to scan. Jimboy with the shot clock down to 7. Quahao. Oh, that's nice D from EAC. 3 on the 24. And a couple of players coming in for the Generals. Castillo and Bagay.
3 seconds on the shot. 3 seconds.
So si Montecillo yung magpapasok ng bola. Quahao catch and shoot. Tapos.
And that's great defense for EAC. Yung previous play na yon, merong screen-to-screener action for Quahao. Libre na sana siya sa top of the key. But that was a great switch. On the weak side, itong si Ochavo recognizing na palabas si Quahao. So kailangan niyang at least man lang magpakita. And that time, effective.
That was ang ending contested 3 para kay Deo Quahao. 8 to shoot. Castillo penetrates and scores the lefty layup.
And this is the perfect time for Castillo to have a breakout game against Letran. And that move by Castillo, napakagandang tignan eh. Kasi hindi sobrang bilis, hindi sobrang fancy. Napakasimple lang, pero may sarili siyang pace kasi.
That Montecillo on the other side. Bottoms on the 3 for 5 points off the bench. But going back to EJ, is this the game that we've been waiting for from Mr. EJ Castillo? We'll find out. Jude Bagay step back. Letran has the numbers on the break. And Deo Quahao goes all the way.
That's a great Gortat screen by Mark Omega para ma-open itong si Deo Quahao.
27-26, Letran pulls ahead. This is their first lead of the game. EJ off the cross. No. Ito na. Ang Letran. Montecillo. Fantastic job off the bench for Nat. Wayward pass. Montecillo to the corner. EJ with active hands. And there's a foul. And an unsportsmanlike one called against Estrada.
I think because Jimboy didn't go for the ball, yung foul na yun, I think sinundot niya yung sa katawan eh, hindi sa bola. That's why it was called an unsportsmanlike foul.
Ito yung bawian natin kanina. Lefty layup for Castillo and the 3 from Montecillo. Wow, taking care of business. So Letran right now in the midst of an 11-4 run to take over the lead. Again, they trailed by as many as 11 points in the first quarter. 17-6 yung score natin nung first quarter. Hinabol ng Letran, but this is gonna hurt their cause. They confirmed the unsportsmanlike foul on Jimboy Estrada.
I think it was because of the foot.
Oh.
Parang in-extend ni Estrada yung foot to stop Castillo from running the break.
So Castillo proceeds to the free throw line for a couple of shots. Jimboy takes a rest.
But I want to go back to that run by Letran para makuha nila yung kalamangan against CAC. You have to give credit to Montesillo and Jimboy Estrada and Deo Cuajao. Kasi nung pagpasok nila, doon nagkaroon ng magandang flow itong Letran. Especially yung pag-quarterback nito ni Montesillo. Very effective for them. Kaya sila nakakatch up sa laro na to. That's right.
They gave stability, especially defensively for the Letran Knights. They scored a lot of transition baskets when they were inside together. EJ from the top of the key. He knocks it down. Castillo is up to 10 points now in the first half.
And this is great for EJ Castillo na maging patient lang siya na dadating talaga yung bola sa kanya. Hahanapin siya ng mga teammates niya dahil veterano na rin itong mga kakampi niya. And alam naman nila lahat kung ano yung laro nito ni Castillo. Kaya hahanapin siya.
Super rookie. At least that's how he was described in the preseason. EJ Castillo showing up here in the first half. One of the leading scorers in our juniors division a few months ago as a member of the Brigadiers and the Mythical Five as well. Manalili sends it to the corner. Roque cashes in the triple.
That was a great pass by Titing Manalili against the zone of EAC. He really attacked the middle. Kaya nag-collapse yung buong zone and nakita niya si Roque sa corner.
And this is another dimension that Letran has with June Roque on the floor. Manalili with a lefty layup. Gorgeous move by Titing.
And ito yung sinasabi natin about kay Manalili na alam niya kung kailan papasa, alam niya kung kailan siya i-score.
Now he has the rhythm. Meantime, we have a timeout on the floor called by Letran. They're now ahead 32-30. We're back to our coverage. Jonathan Manalili. Look at the playmaking. Finding Roque at the corner and then in the play afterwards. Siya yung kumuha sa backcourt. Tinire-diretso nung Titing. And using the left hand for this gorgeous finish.
Well, Titing Manalili has this ability to get to the paint kahit ilang defenders pa yung dadaanan niya Kaya yung defense talagang magko-collapse sa kanya. Kasi kaya niya talagang pumunta ng paint ng malalim. And he's such a good decision maker na alam niya kung kailan bukas yung tira niya. Alam kung kailan bukas yung teammates niya.
Again, playing it on a different level. In the collegiate ranks in NCAA, itong si Manalili Castillo. I just got info that the season high so far for EJ Castillo is 10 points. So he's already tied that in the first half right here. One dribble pull-up for June Roque. And he used the glass to get it to go in.
And this is very timely for Letran na makita natin yung healthy na June Roque. Talagang perfect timing papunta na ng playoffs tapos ready na si June Roque for Letran.
And on the other side, it's EJ Castillo drawing the foul. Ito, June Roque attacking the closeout. One dribble pull-up. Back is open on a Sunday, no problem. For the former Mythical Five member. Pero si EJ Castillo has a chance to increase his output here. So, new season high for EJ in college. 11 points in the first half.
And this is a great scoring run for EJ Castillo so far with 11 points already. First half pa lang to.
And he takes care of both free throws. Ito na. ang pagpapakilala ng EJ Castillo sa college basketball. 34-32 though. Letran is still ahead. Manalili against Castillo. Titing handles. And that's a foul on EJ.
But I love that gesture from EJ Castillo, daring Manalili to attack him, and he was in front of Manalili, but he grabbed a little bit of his jersey. That's why he was called for a foul.
Two products of our juniors basketball in the NCAA. Quahaw. Balik sa labas, Manalili. Shot clock winding down. And they will run out of time.
That was a great collapse from the helpers from EAC, recognizing na aatake na naman si Manalili. So somebody really has to help out every time he attacks.
Here's Nico Kinal. Shanoda off the catch. Kinal is open for the three. Too strong. Bagay. Uy. Missing from point blank. And here's Deo Quahaw. Quahaw. Manalili on top. Searches for an option. He crosses over against Bagay. Flip pass. No. Forward pass. Bagay all the way.
I think Manalili was expecting Mark Omega to roll to the basket para dun sa pasa na yun. And nung nakita rin kasi ni Mark Omega na naka-recover na ng maganda yung EAC, kaya hindi niya tuloy yung roll. No?
That was good recovery from Jacob Shanoda on the landing. Pero ito, EJ getting the ball and quickly to Jude Bagay for the easy deuce. Ayan, tulungan lang naman yung Bagay at Manalili. Pero sa kabila, Mark Denver Omega is able to draw the foul. So, he's back at the free throw line. MDO. 12 minutes in the first half for Omega. And that's a lot already. He's doing a great job in preserving himself in this game to get him more playing time.
Well, I also want to give him credit for making sure na hindi babagsak itong si Shanoda ng delikado. Kasi pag fake niya, tumalon si Shanoda, sumabit sa kanya. Pero he made sure na maaalalayan niya si Shanoda.
That's right. Rhythm 3 is off for Castillo. He tracks it down. Second shot is off as well. Here comes Manalili. Titing is on the move. And he gets stopped. Manalili now feeding Santos underneath. Great execution by Letran. Final shot time for the Generals. Oftana. Kaboom! The Generals end the first half with a 3. But how about the sequence we just had? Manalili with a no-look pass inside to Santos. And then EAC executing quickly to get a 3-point bomb to end the second frame. It's a 1-point game at the half. 38-37 in favor of Letran. We'll give you the numbers and the story of the first half and the performances ng mga cheerleading squads natin. Abangan nyo po yan sa pagbabalik ng NCAA Season 1.